SQL is one of the most popular and widely used data tools in the world. It's the language operating behind the scenes of every database you interact with, whether you realize it or not. But here's the thing, most people only learn enough SQL to get by. A select statement here, a where clause there, maybe a join if you're feeling bold enough. But SQL goes so much deeper than that. Hi, I'm Matt with Maven Analytics, and today I'll be walking you through 6 steps to take you from beginner to advanced SQL practitioner. We'll be covering everything from foundational query structure to more advanced logic. And by the end of this video, you should have a clear roadmap on mastering SQL. For each section, I'll introduce the concept, share what you should know, and explain why it matters. The first is the Big Six. Now the Big Six are like the bedrock of SQL and create the foundation for most of your query structure. And what they are is select, from, where, group by, having, and order by. They define what data you're pulling in, from where, how it's filtered, summarized, and sorted. All of this in a clean, logical sequence. Think of these as the foundation of all your SQL query. These are relatively basic, but understanding them is the jumping off point for more complex SQL queries. So here's what to know. I already explained these, but let me break them down. Select tells you what fields to return. From defines the source tables. Where filters your rows before grouping. Group by aggregates those rows into groups. Having filters based on those groupings. And order by sorts the final result. And that's pretty much it. Once you've mastered these basics, you'll start to hit limits in your flexibility, which is where conditional logic like case statements come into play. All right, so number 2, case statements. Case statements are SQL's way of handling if this then that logic. It allows you to create custom fields and categories based on conditions in your data. All of this done within your query. You can create new labels and classifications without having to alter your original tables. All right, so what to know? Well, you definitely want to know the basic syntax, which goes like this. Case when, condition, then result, else, your fallback, end. And because it's if this, then that logic, this applies to tools like Excel if you're more comfortable with that as well, like an if statement. Very similar logic, but in SQL. You'll also want to know how to perform aggregations within your case statements, like sum case when or count case when, and also nesting case statements for more complex logic. And here's why case statements matter. They allow you to create nuance and greater intelligence into your queries. Using case statements inside of aggregate functions allow you to break down metrics by categories that may not exist in your source data. And you can also replicate logic that might otherwise require multiple queries. Once you get the hang of case statements, your next step is to learn how to combine data from different tables, which brings us to joins. All right, number 3, multi-table analysis, aka joins. So in most real-world data sets, information is spread across multiple tables. Joins are what allow us to bring those different pieces together into one query. They allow us to combine rows across tables based on a common field. So here are the different types of joins you should know. There's inner join, which only returns matching records from both tables. This is probably one of the most common forms of join. Left join, which returns all records from the left table and only matching records from the right table. A right join, which is the opposite, returns all records from the right table and only matching records from the left table. And full outer join, which brings in all records from both tables. Note that you can also append or stack tables vertically using union or union all. All right, so why do joins matter? Without joins, you're limited to flat, isolated tables. And this rarely reflects how data is actually stored. With joins, you can conduct a more comprehensive analysis, and understanding the different types of joins help you control which rows appear and how they're matched. Next, let's break down complex logic into more manageable steps using subqueries and CTEs. So subqueries and CTEs, or common table expressions, let you write queries inside of queries. So it's like writing your SQL in layers. Sometimes queries can get pretty long, so this definitely helps you to stay organized. So instead of trying to cram all your logic into one massive statement, you modularize your SQL query into parts to make it more readable. So a subquery is a query nested inside of another query. They're typically used in the select from or where clause and create logic that your outer query then depends on. A CTE is like a temporary table you're creating using a with statement that you can reference throughout your query. So again, it's like a table you're creating within your query that your outer query can reference. Some of the key differences are that subqueries exist within your main query, whereas a CTE will precede your main query so that it can be referenced. So again, here's why these matter. So both of them help you break down complex logic into multi-step digestible parts. And overall, they make your SQL easier to read and debug. So CTEs are especially helpful when you work within a team that needs to view your queries. But it's also just helpful for your own sanity because, again, queries can get quite large. All right, so now let's talk about one of SQL's most powerful functions, and that is window functions. So window functions allow you to perform calculations across rows. But unlike grouping, they help you keep your detailed records intact. In other words, you get the power of aggregation, but without collapsing your data set. Some common functions to know are row number, rank, and dense rank. Use partition by to restart calculations per group, and use order by within the over clause to define row order. Window functions are really helpful because they allow you to perform things like percent changes, running totals, rankings, and honestly so much more. And all of this while keeping every row of data visible. And they're essential functions for advanced trend analysis and report building. So some pretty great use cases for this are when you need to compare rows to rows around it, like running totals or top performers, something like that. And all right, so window functions are powerful, but they often rely on clean, structured data. So finally, let's explore functions that can help you format your data. Data type functions. Essentially, data type functions help you to clean and prep your data. You can do things like manage strings, numbers, dates, nulls, and data type conversion. They help you to transform your data. They help you fix formatting issues, standardize inputs, and handle missing data. And here are some functions that you should know. Numeric functions, which include math functions like log or power, and rounding functions like round and floor. Type conversion, like cast and convert. Date time functions like current date, day of week, or date diff. String functions like length, trim, upper, lower, concat, and like. And null handling like if null and coalesce. So it should be obvious, but these functions matter because they help you to clean messy data. Data is often messy in the real world. Really, you're just preparing your data set by reducing errors and inconsistencies. Also, if you'd like to learn all these functions in a practical manner, then I'd highly suggest checking out one of Maven's 10-week immersive cohort programs. In the cohort, you'll be guided by a live team of expert instructors to learn SQL from beginner to advanced, learning these exact SQL skills. And each immersive we do is skill specific, so we have one for Excel, Power BI, Python, and of course, SQL. We run each skill-specific cohort twice a year, and our next SQL group is starting very soon. I'm also the one that facilitates every cohort, so you know you're getting a familiar face if you sign up. Check the link in the description for more info. And there you go, 6 steps to help take you from beginner to advanced SQL. If you take the time to learn and practice each of these, then you'll be well on your way to becoming a confident, capable data analyst that uses SQL. And more importantly, you'll have the tools available to answer questions about your data. If this video was helpful, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.